Welcome to Seize the Mains by Malhotra's IS Academy. I am Surbhi Sardana and this is Season 3 of our Daily Answer Writing Initiative. This initiative is running in coordination with our website. On our website rajisacademy.com. Here at the mains answer writing section, if you click, you will see a list of questions. Every day what we do here in Seize the Mains is that we discuss a model answer for one specific question. The topic discussion for which happens on our YouTube channel every day at 2:30 p.m. After discussion of the model answer, what you can do is visit our website. The link is there in the description. Click on that, go to the website, click on the mains answer writing section, and whatever question has been uploaded for that date, try to answer that. Try to send your model answers to us through these pictures, or you can also type your answer in the comment section. In the next 48 hours, our team will evaluate your answer entirely free of cost, and they will give a descriptive feedback to whatever you have written, how to improve it, how to get better marks. Also, what you can do is, if you are watching this for the first time or you're watching this after a lot of time, after a great span of time, you can post your answers later as well. For example, if this is a video that you're watching which is like 1 week old or 1 month old, you can send answers to such questions as well, and our team will evaluate them as well. So let's begin. The topic for today is India and UK relations. India-UK relations have been much in news, especially after the elevation of an Indian origin person as the British Prime Minister. So last week also we discussed India-UK relations on our channel and in Seize the Mains as well. That was a very, a very simplistic question, a very general question which covered all the aspects: the soft power, the defense, the economy. Today we are discussing about FTA or free trade agreement in the question that is coming in the next slide. So in the free trade agreement, about that, a lot has been seen in the news, especially since January 2022. So we'll see what the question is, and let's see how to write an answer about it. Also, elaborate is the directive here. Let me read out the question for you. A free trade agreement between India and UK is desirable for both the nations now, which is very true. However, there are some roadblocks on the way. Elaborate. Answer in 250 words. See, if you focus on this question does not have a direct question. This question just has statements, and it asks you to elaborate. The directive here is elaborate. यहाँ पर कोई भी question mark नहीं है, question के कोई parts नहीं है. They've just told that a free trade agreement would be good for both India and UK alike, but there are some problems. There are some roadblocks on the way. So what do you need to elaborate? It has not been mentioned in the question clearly. So in these cases, when nothing has been directly mentioned, obviously you have so much data, you do not know what to put out there. You have so much content, you do not know what to write. That is one case. The second side to it is that now you have an open field in front of you. Whatever you think you are good at, if you are good at presenting data, if you are good at presenting arguments in a twisted format which represent a different viewpoint or showcase your intellect to the examiner, go ahead with it. So let me brief you out how to address this question. It talks about a free trade agreement would be good, yes. Second is, there are some roadblocks on the way. So what we'll do is, why the FTA is good for both the countries. We'll write this generally, then we'll write it specifically with regards to India, and then with regards to UK. After that, we'll address the roadblocks. Alright, so these will form our body paragraphs. What are the roadblocks on the way? We will talk about 3 to 4 roadblocks that are there to achieve a good FTA or free trade agreement with UK. In the introduction, what we'll do is, in the introduction you can talk about historical ties of India and UK and how they have evolved to this present status. So we'll talk about the ties of India and UK, and in the conclusion we'll highlight the importance. See, highlighting the importance has been done here also, that why FTA is good generally for India and for United Kingdom. In the conclusion, we'll write a very general thing, that why this particular FTA is good for India according to the geopolitical scenario. This part would be mostly regarding economy and political relations, since an FTA is an economic agreement, trade agreement hota hai. So our answer will have a lot of terms from economy. Don't worry about that. This will be asked in your GS paper too. IR का question है international relations का. You do not have to write about details of FTA. या आपको कुछ specific economy terms याद नहीं करनी है, but basic things should be known with regards to India-UK relations. Let's start with introduction and let's tell the examiner about India and UK generally. हम India और UK की generally बात करते हैं कि उनके relations कैसे हैं. How are their relations? How have their relations been? So India and UK are bound by strong ties of history and culture. That is true. India was a colonial nation till 1947. So yes, we are bound by history and culture. India has become a major economic power. This is something we are talking about present, since the question is about FTA. So you are talking that India is a major economic power. What you can say is that we are also one of the largest markets of the world. So here the examiner will get an idea that because India is one of the largest markets of the world, so UK might have an interest in that, and is a highly valued strategic partner for the UK, because UK wants India to stay strong in the Indo-Pacific region. UK wants to stay powerful and India is a way to achieve that power. Now coming to talking about FTA. So FTA is basically a trade deal. A trade deal between UK and India is a huge opportunity to deepen the already strong trading relationship worth 24.3 billion pounds a year, which will benefit businesses and sectors right across both countries. तो ये आपने एक इकोनॉमी स्पेसिफिक टर्म लिखी है, क्योंकि जो आपका क्वेश्चन है दैट इज विद रिगार्ड्स टू अ फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट. इकोनॉमी स्पेसिफिक आंसर है दैट यू सी इन इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस. सो नाउ आफ्टर दिस, आफ्टर हाईलाइटिंग दैट हाउ हैव देयर हिस्टोरिकल टाइज बीन, व्हाई इंडिया इज important for UK, and now you have talked about what is the present state of trade, and this is the present state of trade which will get a boost. Now let's talk about the body paragraph 1, which is why FTA is desirable. We'll talk about both the countries. So here we are talking generally that why FTA is desirable. Then we'll talk about UK, and from there on we'll talk about India. So just read along with me that a FTA between India and UK is expected to enhance economic growth. That always comes with it, enhancement of economic growth and prosperity by increasing import and export flows between both the countries, increasing investment flows both outward and inwards, that is for UK and for India both, enhancing productivity through a more efficient allocation of resources and greater openness to international competition. You know, India has been criticized of not joining RCEP or Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. So an FTA with a country like UK, which produces so many goods, and India is such a big market for that. So in the international arena, India will be able to showcase its importance to globalization or to an open economy. So the second part will highlight about all these points, but with regards to UK को यहाँ इन सब points पे कहाँ फ़ायदा हो रहा है. So the UK, due to severing its ties with China, China was a great market, but UK does not have very good relations with China now. So UK, because it produces so many goods, it needs a new market. एक ऐसी market जहाँ पर जो goods है, goods export किए जा सके कम rates पर, कम taxes लगे, जहाँ पर import duty जहाँ पर कम लगे, and that should serve as a market for goods of UK. So if this FTA gets signed, you will see a lot of cheaper goods coming from UK as well. And a lot of things from India would be exported also. What are these? So due to severing ties with China, it would be able to gain access to Indian markets for transport equipment, electrical equipment, medical devices, chemicals, motor vehicles and parts, wines, scotch, spirits and some fruits and vegetables, which could impact local industry players in India and also boost the manufacturing system. So it could go both positive and negative ways for India, but it has been perceived to be positive because India will also gain out of it. From India's perspective, the FTA will allow for an increase in exports of which things? Textiles would be there, tobacco, pharmaceuticals, thanks to the pharmaceutical industry that is present in India, food and beverages, rice and leather. Also, a lot of Indians go to UK on work visas, on student visas, on a daily basis, on an yearly basis. So a lot of people from India migrate to the United Kingdom in search for a better life, better job opportunities. So India is also expected to get greater opportunities for Indians to live and work in the UK if this FTA is functioning. Now these three are the positivities that are expected. What are the problems with this? I want you to look at the last point here. Greater opportunities for Indians to live and work in the UK. This is where, you know, the biggest problem comes in. FTA में जो problem आ रही है, if you have heard, if you've listened to those statements of Suella Braverman, who's representing, who's a representative in UK Parliament. So she has come out with statements with regards to migration from India. She says that the largest amount of visa overstays in UK are from India, and Indian government is not cooperating with regards to that. So even if they you know, come up with a free trade agreement, they do not want to have easier migration for Indians, whether it's for work purposes or for academic purposes. So here what we are expecting, that greater opportunities will come in, that is a problem. So now we'll talk about what are the roadblocks. So yes, some issues concerning digital data and data protection are there, digital trade and data protection, because India has been coming up with its laws regarding digital regarding data protection, because we realize that data is the new oil and data of Indian users should stay secure in India. We do not want this data to be exchanged without the knowledge of at least Indian government, which people of India, citizens of India have chosen as their representatives. So that is their responsibility to protect it. So data protection and digital trade, that is a problem. And stringent patent rules we have in our, you know, in our patent rules or our IPR policies, we have like problems of evergreening of patents. We have strict norms against evergreening of patents. We have compulsory licensing in the Patents Act of India, under which, you know, patent is not granted, or even if a patent is granted, still generic medicines or products can be produced if it is in the larger interest of public and if a particular medicine is unaffordable. So stringent patent rules are there on the UK side that might not play in favor of India. This was also one of the roadblocks to RCEP. Now that has to be seen, but they say that solutions can be found as enough homework has already been done to deal with such issues. What you can do is, if you feel that, you know, a lot of words are being taken, just stop here. आप अपना point यहीं पर रोक दीजिए and उसके बाद second point पर जाइए. Here is the real challenge, because the real challenge will be in the area of migration and mobility from India to United Kingdom, because the political representatives or the bureaucratic representatives of UK are very much against India. They have given public statements against migration from India, and you know, that has irked Indian leaders a lot. So this would be a major roadblock, that if migration cannot be worked out in favor of India, then we can't be losing on all this, because UK gains here a lot. Our local manufacturing would suffer, our local industry players would suffer, small industries would suffer. So if it can be, you know, if it can be balanced by increased migration from India, easier visa rules for Indian migrants from India to UK, only then this can be, only then this FTA can come into place. Otherwise it's a big no. Then the third issue is that the two sides are yet to find a common ground on major economic issues. टैरिफ वॉर्स चल रही हैं पिछले जनवरी से, लाइक जनवरी 22 में व्हाट हैपेंड. सो द यूके यूनाइटेड किंगडम, इट इम्पोज्ड वेरी हैवी ड्यूटी on 15 Indian steel products, leading to a slump in Indian exports. बहुत heavy duty लगा दी थी UK गवर्नमेंट ने Indian exports के ऊपर, especially steel products, which take a major share of exports from our country. So जब वो duty लगाई गई, so India lost around US dollar 247 million, around of million dollars. So that much money was lost. And in September this year, when we saw that migration has been questioned again and again, India was under negotiations to impose 15% duty on 22 imported items from UK, which included all these alcoholic beverages, whiskey, scotch, cheese, etc. These form a major share of imports from the UK because these are expensive things. So जब इनके ऊपर duties raise हो जाती है, they become expensive in the Indian market, then what people resort to is buying Indian products or buying products coming from other countries. So the economy of United Kingdom, that suffers a lot. So there is a trade war, tariff war going on. On the one hand, a free trade agreement is trying to be finalized, and on the other hand, this tariff war is going on in retaliation to each other. So this has to be sorted out. Fourth one, India has terminated most of bilateral investment treaties, including with the UK. So the companies of UK need to have a leverage if FTA comes up. To bring British companies under specific protection, the UK would like to add a comprehensive investment chapter in the free trade agreement. Since the UK is also a major destination of Indian companies for investment, Indian companies also invest in UK. So this should not be a problem, but this is something that has to be worked upon. So these were the four major issues that could be seen in a free trade agreement between India and UK. Mostly talk about the economic perspective. Otherwise, with regards to the strategic partnership that is there, we have a comprehensive strategic partnership model with the UK. We have comprehensive strategic partnership with the United Kingdom itself. So apart from that, strategically, geopolitically, and our defense ties, whether it's about import and export of defense equipments and the annual exercises that are being held, so they are perfect, they are totally balanced, everything is balanced. It's just the FTA part that we have focused on here because that was the demand of the question. So I hope the elaborate part of question is clear to you. If you feel that you can represent better when you take paragraph approach, then all these points can be finished in one line itself. So take a paragraph approach, write a separate para for roadblocks, write a separate para for why FTA is desirable. So there is nothing else that is left in the question. In the introduction, we've talked about India, UK also. You can also talk about that in all other sectors, the ties are going very good, very balanced. Now in the conclusion, just say that while UK needs India's cooperation to reduce their dependency on China and access bigger markets for their products, India requires such deals to expand their scope of economic power. Also the rising population of India, that also needs other country to have better opportunities. India is already in talks with several other nations to sign more FTAs. Yes, we have signed out of RCEP and other major bilateral investment treaties, but now we are signing FTAs, we are planning FTAs, free trade agreements with many countries. So if this one is successful, it would serve as a major boost for other upcoming FTAs, and it could also serve as a benchmark how to run free trade agreements. Now, as such, it is very important for this deal to go through successfully first. So again, 2-3 lines of conclusion, these sum up your answer. What we are doing for today, from today, is that we'll upload the answer on the same day this video comes up, so that you can go through the model answer. Click on the link in the description, that will take you to rajisacademy.com. In the mains answer writing section, click on question number 111, which is the latest question which we just discussed. This is question 111. So just read out the model answer that has been framed. This question is very simple. It should be very easy for you to write your own model answer. Just try to take a very creative approach while sending your answers, so that we can evaluate you, give you more and more good quality feedback. And do write answers. Don't worry that prelims might be approaching or the mains cycle is over. No, you're not out of mains cycle as of now. You need to practice your answer writing at least till 3 months before prelims, 3 or 2 months before prelims if you are taking prelims for the second time. So keep practicing, because this is the thing, this is one such exercise that will take you to the final list, that will help you get more marks and help you secure a rank in the final list. So all the best to you. I'll see you with another discussion of Seize the Mains Daily Answer Writing tomorrow at 9 PM.